Good morning, friends. Today I am going to take this session on the plant kingdom, guys. Guys, in the previous class we have seen the classification of biogeographical zones. Okay, so biogeographical classification, and the second topic that we have seen in this chapter is fauna, that is animal kingdom. So now I am going to take the remaining two topics of the discussion, guys, that is the plant kingdom and the wildlife in India. Okay, guys, so the topic of this chapter is Indian biodiversity. Indian biodiversity. Okay, so guys, in the Indian biodiversity, the topics we need to discuss is classification. Okay, biogeographic classification, the fauna, okay, flora, okay, and wildlife in India. Okay, so these are the four topics need to be discussed in this chapter, that is classification, fauna, flora, and the wildlife. And in this we have done with the two topics, that is the classification and the fauna, guys. Okay, we have done with the classification and the fauna part. Okay, today I am going to take the session on the flora and the wildlife. Okay, guys, these are the basic concepts, guys. These are the basics such that we can go for the application part. Okay, in this class I am going to take this flora and the wildlife in India, guys. Okay, so let us start our discussion with the first topic, that is the flora. The flora is nothing but the plant kingdom, guys. It is nothing but the plant kingdom. Okay, plant kingdom. Okay, whereas the fauna is the animal kingdom, guys. Animal kingdom we have seen, guys, that is we have vertebrates, invertebrates. Again, in the vertebrates we have seen the classification, like we have reptiles, aves, mammals, amphibians. Okay, and in the same manner we have the classification in the invertebrates. Okay, guys, so we have clearly seen that is we have protozoa, arthropods, okay, the echinoderms, all those classification we have seen, guys, and its characteristics of the vertebrates and the invertebrates. These are the basic parts, guys, for our upcoming application part. Okay, now we are going to take the discussion on the plant kingdom. So how the plant kingdom have been classified? If you take the plant kingdom, guys, plant kingdom first classified into two types. Okay, differentiated plants and non-differentiated plants. Okay, guys, here I am taking non-differentiated. Okay, and the second part is the differentiated. Okay, differentiated. So what do you mean by non-differentiated, guys? So differentiated plants are the one which are having the stem, roots, and leaves are in a proper fashion, guys. These are the one which are having the stem. Okay, guys, stem, roots, and leaves. These are the differentiated, means we have differentiated what is stem, what is roots, what is leaves in a plant is called as a differentiated. Whereas in the non-differentiated we are not having that roots, stem, or the leaves. Okay, the examples of this, if you take, we have the algae, fungus, and bacteria. Okay, guys, we have the algae, fungus, and bacteria. Now we will discuss what is algae, what is fungus, what is bacteria. Okay, guys, algae are the green plants, guys. Algae are the small microscopic green plants. Small microscopic green plants are called algae. These are the green plants, and at some places this may be red also. This plant prepare food by themselves, guys. This is having the chlorophyll, and through the sunlight they prepare the food by themselves. Is called as algae. That is microscopic organisms. They are present in the oceans mainly, and we see this at the outside as well. Okay, algae, these are the green microscopic organisms. Green in color, and sometimes we find its color as red. This prepare food by themselves, so it is called as autotrophs. the one which prepared by food by themselves are called as autotrophs. If we come to the fungus, so guys, fungus are the one which are not having the chlorophyll, which are not having chlorophyll. It means they can't prepare food by themselves. But these are the moist cells. These are present, means these are having the moist content, and these are the one which are present at the dead and decaying parts, guys. Okay, these are present at the dead and decaying organisms. Example, we have the mushrooms and the molds. Mushrooms and the molds. So at these places the fungus are present. Okay, they depend upon the algae for the food, is called as, so the fungus and algae we call it as symbiotic relations, guys. So these two part we call it lichens. Lichens. Okay, so lichens means the symbiotic association between the algae and the fungi. So algae will prepare food for the fungus. The fungus will give the moist to the algae. Okay, so means symbiotic means this organism is helping this one, this is helping this one, is called as symbiotic association. Okay, this called as a lichens. Okay, if you come to the bacteria, guys, so bacteria are the one which are not having the chlorophyll, guys, which are not having the chlorophyll. Okay, these are present at the saprophytes. These are present at the, these are the organisms which are present as the saprotypes. Okay, guys, and they are, the bacteria are mainly used in the industries first. Industries for the decomposition purposes. For the decomposition purposes, they are mainly used. Okay, guys. So this is about the algae, fungus, and the bacteria. Means these are not having the differentiated stem, roots, or the leaves. This is one part of classification. That is non-differentiated or the differentiated. Guys, clear? So again, in the differentiated classification, we have classified into two types. Okay, we have two types. Okay, this is without vascular tissue. Without vascular tissue. This is with vascular tissue. With vascular tissue. Okay, guys. So without vascular tissue, we have the example as bryophytes. Bryophytes. Okay. So with vascular tissue, we have example triophytes. Okay, guys. Again, the one which are having stem, roots, and leaves have been classified into two types. That is the without vascular tissue and the with vascular tissue. So without vascular tissue, we call it as bryophytes. Sorry, without, and the with vascular tissue we call as triophytes. What do you mean by vascular tissue, guys? So guys, vascular tissue is nothing but this is the complex conducting tissue. This is the complex conducting tissue which is having the more than one cell. Which is having the more than one cell. So this vascular tissue will be having the xylem and phloem, guys. These are having the xylem and phloem. Xylem and phloem means for the process of the water and the nutrients, that is the liquid and the nutrients. So to pass the nutrients and the liquids through the plant, we have the xylem and the phloem in the vascular tissue. These are the complex conducting tissues with having the more than one cell and contains the xylem and phloem for the process of the nutrients and the fluids is vascular tissue. Means the vascular tissue means which are having the conducting complex with the system of having the xylem and phloem, guys. Okay, done. So the one without the vascular tissue is called as bryophytes. The one with vascular tissue are called triophytes. Okay, guys. And the vascular tissue, that is the complex conducting things which are having the xylem and phloem in them. Okay, such that it will make the fluids and the nutrients to pass through them. That is called as vascular tissue. Okay, guys. So after that, again with the vascular tissue, we have classified into two parts. Okay, so guys, I am taking this part and I am again starting my discussion, guys. That is vascular tissue. Okay, so vascular tissue, again they have batting with the two types. That is the one which produce the seeds and with the one which won't produce the seeds. Okay guys. Okay. So vascular tissue, I am taking this from here guys. The one which is having the vascular tissue. So this again classified into two. That is the one which won't produce seeds. Don't produce seeds. Okay. The one which produce seeds. Okay. Guys, the one which don't produce seeds and the one which produce seeds. Okay. The one which don't produce seeds we call as pteridophytes. Pteridophytes. Okay. Okay guys. And these will produce the seeds. Okay. The one which won't produce seeds is called as pteridophytes. The one which will be produce seeds, they will be having the different things guys. Okay. So these again the produce seeds will be classified into two types. That is the naked one. Naked one and in the fruit itself. Okay guys, some plants will produce seeds. So this again this classification has been classified into two types. That is the naked one in the fruit itself. Guys, some seeds we see in the fruit only. That is called angiosperms. Angiosperms. Whereas the naked one is called gymnosperms. Okay. The one which produces the seeds as a naked one is called gymnosperms, and the one which produces in the fruit is called as angiosperms. Okay guys. So in the fruits means they are having the flowering plants. Flowering plants also we can take. Okay. The flowering plants and the one which produces the seeds in the fruit itself is called angiosperms. Means these are the naked ones guys. Guys, naked one, if you take the example caldus. Example is caldus. Caldus or conifers. Okay, means this. So in the naked system, the ovules or the seeds are not protected by the ovary. Okay guys, the ovules or the seeds are not protected by the ovary in the naked one. So whereas they will be having the protected guys. That is in the fruit. If the seeds are in the fruit, it is angiosperms and the flowering plant. Again, those that is angiosperms have been divided into two parts guys. That is we have dicot and monocot. Guys, we have dicot and monocot. Guys, dicot and monocot is nothing but dicot means which is having the seeds of two symmetry guys. Two symmetry seeds. So if you see the badam guys, if you see the badam, that is the almond, there if you see seeds we have dicot, two coats of the symmetry, and the monocot means only single seed is called as dicot and the monocot. So this is the classification of the plant kingdom guys. Okay, so these are the basics we are, if you get, then these are things going to help a lot in our examinations guys. Okay, so we have got many questions from this part. Okay guys, now I will take my discussion to the fourth topic of the chapter, that is wildlife in India. Okay guys, so I have done with the plant kingdom. Guys, we have done with the classification, that is biogeographical classification, and after that I have taken the fauna, that is the animal kingdom. Now I have done with the plant kingdom guys. That okay. Now I will take my discussion to the last topic of this chapter, that is wildlife in India. Wildlife in India. Okay guys, so wildlife in India. So what do you mean by wildlife? Wildlife means both plants and animals guys. Okay, so how the different types of wildlife in India we are going to see guys. So in this we are going to see the 5 important wildlife, that means 5 important places where wildlife will be maximum present in India we are going to see guys. The first and foremost is the mountain Himalayas. Mountain Himalayas. Okay. The second one that we are going to see is the peninsular India. Peninsular India guys. Okay. The third one is the tropical rainforest. Tropical rainforest. And the fourth one is the islands. Okay, Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Okay, Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Okay, and the last topic is that is mangroves, guys. Mangroves. Okay, so these are the 5 topics of the wildlife in India that we are going to see. So mountain Himalayan, guys. Guys, if you see Himalayans, we can find the Himalayan mountains as basically 2 parts, guys. That is, we have the eastern Himalayas and we have the western Himalayas, and we have the foothills of the Himalayas. So we are going to see this in separate session, guys. So if you see eastern Himalayan, guys, these are the one which are having the very less amount of snow and a high amount of rainfall. Okay, these are the one which are having the very less amount of snow and the high amount of rainfall. So the maximum, so here we are having the tropical the rainforest, guys. Okay, tropical rainforest are the dominant places of this area, guys. Okay, and the example if you see, we are having the sal and the grassy plants. Sal and the grassy plants. Okay, and if you see the western part of the mountain of Himalayas, these are the one which are having the low rainfall and a high snow. Low rainfall and a high snow, guys. High snow. So these are present at the western part of the Himalayas. Okay, so if you see this part, this will be happening alpines, all those things, guys. Why? Because the rainfall is very less and the snow is very high. Alpines. Okay, whereas on that side we can see the grassy plants. Okay, tall grassy plants and the meadows, all those things. So, and again we are having the foothills of Himalayas. So foothills of the Himalayas also are the one which are having the good amount of rainfall at the lower altitudes, guys. At the lower altitudes. Okay, they are having the good amount of rainfall, and this area also we are having the good biodiversity, guys. Okay, so if you see the western part, we have the bamboo and the rhododendrons. Bamboo and the rhododendrons are present in this place, guys. Okay, and we have the sal at that place, and at the bottom we have the grassy plants, grassy meadows, all those things. So this is about the mountain Himalayas, guys. Okay, if we see peninsula, again peninsula we can do into 2 parts, guys. Okay, that is the one with moist deciduous. Moist deciduous. So moist deciduous, we are having the upper part of the peninsula. Okay, like that, and we have the dry part, dry area. Okay, so at the dry area we can see the Rajasthan, guys. That is the desert thorny bushes. The thorny bushes are present over that place. Okay, if you see the moist, this will having the teak, guys. Teak. The teak is the prominent species present in the moist deciduous forest. These are present at the peninsula part too. And we have the rivers at the delta of the rivers of the peninsula part. Okay, we have the plain part in this peninsular area also. In the peninsular area, we are having the plain part at the rivers of the delta formation, guys. So moist deciduous and the dry area, that is the deserts, are the things which we can see in the peninsular India. Okay, so that is, here we are having thorny forest, thorny cactus, all those things, and the trees which are having the tiny trees, the trees which are having the very less leaves or the low leaves, such a type of are present in the peninsula part at the dry area. In the moist, we can see seal and the top, teak. Okay, this is about the peninsula. And the tropical rainforest, guys, many times I discuss about tropical rainforest. Tropical rainforest are the one which are present at the equators. So these are having the good amount of rainfall, a high temperature, good humidity. Okay, evergreen plants, ebony, and these are present at the Western Ghats, Andaman and Nicobar, and the northeastern regions. Okay, ebony and the shillings are the trees which are present in this area. Ebony, guys. Okay, and these are having the good amount of rainfall. This is about the plants that grow are very dense. Maximum the different kinds of its habitat are found in the this type of regions. Like we have the small grasses are present in this tropical rainforest. Okay guys, this is having the dense cover guys. It covers the maximum forest guys. It covers the maximum forest. Okay, and if you see the islands we have Andaman and Nicobar guys. Andaman and Nicobar, if you see, these are the one which are be having the good biodiversity. We have the rainforest, we have the moist forest, we have the mangroves. Okay, good biodiversity is present in the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. We have dictators trees which are present in the Andaman and Nicobar Islands guys. Okay, so the biodiversity is rich in this Andaman and Nicobar Islands among the islands in the country. Okay, if you see the mangroves guys, mangroves are the one which are very important during the floods, during the rain runoff. Okay, the roots of the mangroves are going to help a lot guys from not getting this topmost soil removal and help the stoppage of the water flowing guys. Okay, so the mangroves, if you see, these are present as a stratification guys. Okay, so the maximum 80% of the mangroves are present as the second part of the stratification guys. Okay, means that the mangrove the place where we have Sundarbans are the good amount of mangroves. Okay, so these are present at there's like stratification is present at the mangrove places. Okay guys, so this is about the wildlife in India guys. Okay, so we have done the mountain Himalayas, peninsula, tropical rainforest, islands and the mangroves. Okay guys, so with this I am completing my session guys. So I am going to take the next topic in the next coming class, that is the scheduled animals listed in the Wildlife Protection Act 1972. Very important topic guys, very important guys. They will simply give you the name of the species and we need to find out its present status. Okay, like if you give the black bug, okay, black bug, so they will ask, so consider the following regarding the black bug. So black bug is in the endangered status. Okay, like that they will ask. So we need to see all those things in the coming class. I am going to take this part guys. Okay, thank you one and all.